Michigan egg producer lays off 400 employees as bird flu spreads. Michigan egg producer Herbuck's Poultry Ranch is laying off about 400 employees due to the spread of avian influenza. In a letter to the State Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, Chief Human Resources Officer Stephanie Kempa said the layoffs are primarily temporary, however, some are permanent. Positions include accounting, coordinator, clerk, feed mill, human resources, manager, sanitation and supervisor. Next breaking news: thousands of NYC families waitlisted for free 3K program. The city says seats are still available. New York, thousands of New York City families have been waitlisted for the city's free 3K program, even though Mayor Eric Adams promised every child who wanted a spot would get one. As families are scrambling to find other child care options, the mayor is blaming his own education department for confusing parents. Next breaking news: deadly storms slam Houston yet again. Hundreds of thousands without power across Texas. Deadly thunderstorms blew out windows in high-rise buildings, downed trees, and knocked out power to hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses in the Houston area Thursday as Southeast Texas got pummeled for the second time this month. At least 4 people were killed due to the storms, Houston Mayor John Whitmire told reporters in a news briefing Thursday night. Next breaking news: 4 dead as severe storms hit Houston area. Nearly 1 million without power in Texas. Emergency crews in Southeast Texas were clearing debris and assessing flooding early Friday after powerful storms tore through the state, killing at least 4 people and knocking out power to some 800,000 customers. Next breaking news: former Texas Motor Speedway president Eddie Gossage dead at 65. Fort Worth, Speedway Motorsports shared news of North Texas legend Eddie Gossage's death Thursday afternoon. The motorsports promoter and former Texas Motor Speedway president died at 65. Gossage's passing comes on the eve of the 40th NASCAR All-Star Race weekend. Next breaking news: U.S. announces effort to expedite court cases of migrants who cross the border illegally. The Biden administration on Thursday announced an effort to shorten the time it takes for U.S. immigration judges to decide the asylum cases of certain migrants who enter the country illegally along the border with Mexico. Next breaking news: some older Frigidaire and Kenmore ranges pose risk of fires and burn injuries. Electrolux warns. Electrolux Group is urging consumers to stop using older model Frigidaire and Kenmore electric ranges following recent reports that the appliances can cause fires and burn injuries. A notice posted Thursday by the Consumer Product Safety Commission warns that heating elements on the recalled ranges, which date from 2009, can spontaneously turn on by themselves, fail to turn off when switched off by the consumer, and heat to different temperatures than selected, posing fire risks and burn hazards. Next breaking news: Walmart chia seeds sold nationwide recalled due to salmonella. Chia seeds sold at Walmart stores nationwide are being recalled because the product may be contaminated with salmonella, according to a notice posted by the Food and Drug Administration. Next breaking news: McDonald's to launch $5 meal promo in effort to reinvigorate sales. McDonald's plans to launch a $5 meal promo in an effort to lure back customers scared away by recent price hikes to its menu. The limited-time offer is slated to begin June 25th and will last about a month, a source familiar with the promotion told CBS MoneyWatch on Wednesday. The value meal will include a choice of either a McChicken, a McDouble or 4-piece chicken nuggets as well as small fries and a small drink. Next breaking news: U.S. citizen accused of conspiring with North Korean IT workers to infiltrate 300 U.S. companies and get remote tech jobs. Feds say Washington, an Arizona woman has been accused of conspiring with people tied to the North Korean government to illegally procure remote telework posts with U.S. companies, federal prosecutors said Thursday. Next breaking news: Lainey Wilson the big winner at 2024 Academy of Country Music Awards. Lainey Wilson took home Female Artist of the Year and the top prize of Entertainer of the Year at the 2024 Academy of Country Music Awards. "I've been in Nashville for 13 years doing this," Wilson started her speech. "Everybody in this category has loved on me and believed on me," she added. "And I love y'all for that." Next breaking news: the deadline to file for a piece of Apple's $35 million settlement with some iPhone 7 users is approaching. Here's who qualifies. The deadline is approaching to register to receive a piece of Apple's $35 million settlement with iPhone 7 or 7 Plus users who experienced audio issues with their device's microphone. Those eligible to make a claim can be awarded $50 to $349 from the tech giant. Next breaking news: aid starts flowing into Gaza Strip across temporary floating pier. U.S. just finished building Washington. Trucks carrying badly needed aid for the Gaza Strip rolled across a newly built temporary U.S. floating pier into the besieged enclave for the first time Friday, as Israeli restrictions on border crossings and heavy fighting hinder food and other supplies reaching people there. Next breaking news: Supreme Court upholds funding structure for CFPB. Washington. The Supreme Court on Thursday upheld the funding structure for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or CFPB, rescuing the Consumer Finance Agency from another effort by its critics to weaken it. Next breaking news: Biden asserts executive privilege over recording of interview with special counsel demanded by House Republicans. Washington. President Biden asserted executive privilege over audio recordings from an investigation into his handling of classified documents, a top Justice Department official revealed in a letter to House committee leaders obtained by CBS News. Next breaking news: Gordon Black, U.S. soldier jailed in Russia, pleads guilty to theft. Russian state media say staff SGT Gordon Black, a U.S. soldier jailed in the Russian city of Vladivostok, has entered a guilty plea to theft charges and is cooperating with investigators in the case, Russia's state-run news outlets said Thursday. He is cooperating, he admitted. The RIA news agency cited a representative of the local interior ministry as saying. Next breaking news: Putin visits Beijing as Russia and China stress no-limits relationship amid tension with the U.S. Beijing. Russian President Vladimir Putin thanked Chinese leader Xi Jinping for his efforts to resolve the war in Ukraine at a Beijing summit on Thursday, where the two leaders reaffirmed a no-limits partnership that has grown as both countries face rising tension with the West. Next breaking news: Best Buy has a huge sale on TVs ahead of Memorial Day. How are you spending your upcoming Memorial Day weekend? If you're planning on lounging around and catching up on some of your favorite TV shows, it's time for an upgrade. You can score some serious savings at Best Buy on TVs of all types and for all budgets before the holiday ever rolls around. The retailer is offering noteworthy deals on TVs ahead of Memorial Day. You can find affordable options from top brands like Samsung, LG, Sony, and more, all waiting for you to bring them home. Next breaking news: Lara Trump says debates rigged so heavily in Biden's favor. Republican National Committee co-chair Lara Trump said Wednesday evening, without evidence, that debates are always rigged so heavily in President Biden's favor. Earlier Wednesday, Biden and former President Trump agreed to participate in two presidential debates, the first on CNN on June 27th, the second on ABC on September 10th. Next breaking news: Boebert heckled in New York while defending Trump. Rep. Lauren Boebert was heckled outside the Manhattan courthouse Thursday, where she was attempting to defend former President Trump at his criminal hush money trial. As Boebert and several other Republicans broke away from a makeshift press conference podium, she leaned into the microphones to say one last thing. Next breaking news: Trump says he'd have no problem having RFK Jr. on debate stage if he meets threshold. Former President Trump said he would have no problem with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. joining the presidential debate stage with President Biden if the independent candidate meets the threshold to participate. Next breaking news: these 16 House Democrats bucked Biden party leadership on Israel bill. 16 House Democrats voted to undo President Biden's pause on some weapons shipments to Israel on Thursday, breaking with the White House and party leadership, who urged its members to oppose the GOP-led bill. Next breaking news: 3/4 of Texans think extreme conservative agenda has captured state. Poll finds conservative Republicans' attacks on gun control, abortion and climate-friendly investing practices are deeply unpopular and costing Texas billions of dollars, according to a new poll. Next breaking news: Warren celebrates CFPB win at Supreme Court, warns of more challenges. Since Elizabeth Warren celebrated the Supreme Court's Thursday decision to reject a GOP challenge to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's funding structure. The United States Supreme Court followed the law, and the CFPB is here to stay, Warren said outside the Supreme Court. Next breaking news: Democrats cheer after Supreme Court rejects challenge to Consumer Bureau. Democrats and financial industry critics celebrated Wednesday after the Supreme Court rejected a challenge to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's funding structure. Next breaking news: Senators allege partisan politics, double standards in response to FDIC scandal. Republican and Democratic senators accused one another of playing partisan politics Thursday in their responses to reports of a toxic workplace culture at the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Next breaking news: Dixon teachers demand better salaries, saying both staff and students are suffering. Dixon teachers and staff members packed Thursday night's Dixon Unified School Board meeting to fight for better salaries. They chanted and picketed outside the meeting, and dozens filled the room speaking in public comment at the podium. Next breaking news: Marilyn Mosby has shown no respect, accepts no responsibility, prosecutors say ahead of sentencing. Baltimore prosecutors say former Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby has shown no respect and accepts no responsibility and should serve 20 months in prison for her mortgage fraud and perjury convictions. Mosby will be sentenced on May 23 and faces up to 40 years, but she's unlikely to serve the maximum. Next breaking news: first aid flows into Gaza over massive U.S. pier. Trucks carrying humanitarian aid began moving ashore into Gaza Friday using a temporary pier built by the United States, delivering desperately needed supplies to the besieged Palestinian enclave. Next breaking news: body shaming, IQ insults and crosstalk. House committee meeting devolves into chaos amid personal insults. Washington, criticism of a member's fake eyelashes and another's intelligence. A question about discussing a member's bleach blonde, bad-built butch body. Next breaking news: 91-year-old Missouri man rescues fire department with $500,000 donation. A 91-year-old's $500,000 donation has saved a tiny Missouri volunteer fire company from certain doom. In April, Sam Sloan decided to make good on a promise he made to himself decades ago when he got out of the cattle and seed processing business: donate to the Calhoun Volunteer Fire Department. Next breaking news: California bill that aimed to combat tween skincare overuse fails to move forward. A bill in California that aimed to ban the sale of anti-aging skin products to kids under 13 failed to advance in the state assembly on Thursday after it was brought forward at an appropriations committee meeting. Next breaking news: cities look for new ways to keep people safe and alive as extreme summer heat looms. More than 5 weeks remain before summer's official start, but preparations for extreme heat have been underway for many months in parts of the country hit hard by last year's sweltering conditions. Next breaking news: teen died from eating a spicy chip as part of social media challenge. Autopsy report concludes a Massachusetts teen who participated in a spicy tortilla chip challenge on social media died from ingesting a high amount of a chili pepper extract, according to an autopsy report obtained by the Associated Press. Next breaking news: Walmart says more diners are buying its groceries as fast food gets pricey. Forget the drive-thru. Walmart wants diners to find a value meal in its grocery aisles. As fast food gets pricier, the nation's largest grocer sees a sales opportunity. Next breaking news: Dow Jones Industrial Average briefly hit 40,000 amid renewed hopes for U.S. economy. The Dow Jones Industrial Average Stock Index touched 40,000 briefly for the first time Thursday amid renewed investor hopes for a soft landing for the U.S. economy following a favorable inflation report. Next breaking news: United Airlines says FAA cleared it to start adding new aircraft routes after safety review. United Airlines said the Federal Aviation Administration has cleared it to start adding new aircraft and routes months after the regulator stepped up its scrutiny of the carrier following several safety incidents. Next breaking news: North Korea test fires suspected missiles as Kim's sister denies supplying weapons to Russia. Seoul, South Korea. North Korea fired suspected short-range ballistic missiles off its east coast on Friday, South Korea's military said, a day after South Korea and the United States flew powerful fighter jets in a joint drill that the North views as a major security threat. Next breaking news: proposed North Carolina law would make it illegal to wear masks in public. Republican senators in North Carolina passed a bill Wednesday revoking a pandemic-era law allowing for masks to be worn in public for health concerns. Next breaking news: new menopause drugs treat hot flashes, but women may face insurance hurdles. New drugs to treat debilitating menopause symptoms, namely hot flashes, are finally on the market or are in development. But doctors say insurance companies either won't pay for them or make women try and fail with other, perhaps less effective, drugs before they do. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for getting latest update of United States, trending news and top stories about you.